Well, happy Wednesday to everybody. Hope you are doing well. Trying to get this thing lined up the way I want it, if I possibly can. All right. So we are at the third game in the June 14th date, 1987, which was a Sunday. Game number 419 overall. We're at Tiger Stadium. The Boston Red Sox visiting the Detroit Tigers. And starting pitching matchup, Bruce Hurst on the mound for the Red Sox and Jack Morris on the mound for the Tigers. Tiger Stadium, not so friendly to singles, but definitely friendly to home runs. 14 for lefties, 11 for righties, so long ball could definitely be prevalent. Detroit enters the game 33-25. I believe 6 games out of first place, but they're only a half game back of the Yankees for third place. And Boston's mired near the bottom at 23-38. So we will get this game started. Detroit won the real game 2-1. So we'll see if that indeed holds up also. Hello, Jesse. Good to see you. And in case anybody wasn't aware, coming up in a little over a month from now will be the next edition of the NBC Game of the Week. I've been doing that for the last, I think, 4 years maybe. And I've done it with different engines. I've done it with Strat-O-Matic. I've done it with Inside Pitch. Done it with Season Ticket. And this year's edition will be done with Fall Classic. So we're using Fall Classic 1989 season. And I went through YouTube and different sources, internet, everything else, to get what the actual NBC games of the week were for each of those days and tried to pattern my schedule, to follow that as best as I can. There are certain teams, there were about maybe 6 teams that did not show up at all on the NBC game of the week. So what I plan to do with that is maybe show them in a different outing. For instance, Cleveland and Milwaukee do not show up on the NBC game of the week all season long, but they do play each other opening day. So opening day is April the 3rd. The first NBC game of the week is not until April the 8th. So I'll play that as a kind of a preamble to get that going. And actually, on April the 8th, there was no NBC game of the week because both games they had scheduled, LA at Atlanta, and I forget who was at Chicago, maybe Pittsburgh at Chicago. I'm not sure the exact schedule there. They both got rained out. So there was no NBC game of the week on April the 8th. But I have a backup plan because another day game on April the 8th was Boston at Kansas City. And it's a great pitching matchup, Roger Clemens against Mark Gubza. So I'll be doing that one as my April the 8th, since there wasn't one to begin with. Now, if you've also followed, I wouldn't really call it a journey per se, but my foray into trying to like season ticket baseball. I mean, not season ticket baseball, Fall Classic, and I do. That was what's the right word for it? That was brought about by Replay Gamer, so you can blame him because he got me back interested in this. And he also sold me on one of these. This came in this morning from Amazon. And this is going to be helpful for my Fall Classic, hopefully. Well, this tape on here is something. It's like an what do you call it? Unscheduled unbagging, maybe? I don't know. But he suggested this paper to use. He suggested this. Boy, it's not much on a name brand here that I can see. No, there it is. This is it right here. Just called Next Day Labels is what it's called. I don't know if you can see it or not. Next Day Labels is who makes this. And it's 125-pound cardstock. And it's sectioned, it's perforated into 8 sections, which is exactly the setup that Fall Classic uses for their PDFs. So the 1967 PDF season that I bought, I can print that out, or additional players that weren't carded in the 1989 printed set can be printed out via that. So I'm going to try it out, see how it goes. If it doesn't work, I'll blame Replay Gamer. How about that? Replay Gamer, one of the nicest gentlemen I know from the community. So I always enjoy his videos and what he's doing. Hope he's going to make it to finish his Greg Maddux replay. I know he's trying to do that before opening day gets here. So I hope he can complete that task. Hello, Jeremiah. Hello, Colin. Good to see you. That's true, Jeremiah. I don't know if this qualifies as a, I guess it sort of qualifies as a Kirk Berglund authentic unbagging. I don't know. It really, there was no game to show. It was just a paper. I mean, I could have already took it out of there. Really didn't have to show it that particular way, but hey, whatever. We try to do what we can do here. All right, so getting back to the game, there's our dice. Got the game on the computer, ready to go. Let's look at Jack Morris. He is the starter for the Tigers. Real world Jack Morris, if we look at his numbers, he was 18-11 with a 3.38 ERA. On the replay, he's 7-4 with a 3.28 ERA. So kind of right in line there, 3.38 to 3.28. So he's going along pretty well. He is 7-4 and 96 innings pitched, only 66 hits. So he's really got a really good hit to innings pitch ratio. The long ball's got him. He's given up 15 home runs in 96 innings pitched. So that's really got him. 25 walks, 83 strikeouts. So the long ball has been his bugaboo, and of course Tiger Stadium probably plays into that, being that they are so home run friendly. And Ellis Burks, Jeremiah, it says on here it's 120. They have two different kinds. There was a link in one of Replay Gamer's videos that he did. He gave an Amazon link to this, and there was once at 125 and once at 100, I think. But it was like $3 more to get this one. But this is the one specifically, I think, that he linked to originally. So it says 125 pounds. I'm assuming that's what that is. It's 100 pages with 8 sections in each one. So you can print off 800 cards, basically, is what it's saying there. So I believe it's 125-pound card stock. Don't hold me to it because I'm still in the package, but I'm assuming that's what that 125 with the pound sign means. But again, I've got to print it out. I got to do a test print because I don't know if there's a certain way I need to take the PDF from Fall Classic to set it up that way or not. I don't know. Like I said, if it goes haywire, I'll blame Replay Gamer, but because he's the one that got me started on that. And all tongue-in-cheek, of course. I enjoy Replay Gamer. We have had a couple of good chats already, and he's, like I say, he's one of the nicer gentlemen in the community as far as I'm concerned. All right, so before we get the game started, with the ceremonial first sip is on the way before the first pitch can occur, we have to have the ceremonial first sip. And that is some good coffee. All right, so Ellis Burks hitting .252 on the replay, 7 homers, 16 driven in. Real world, he hit .272. And we're underway from Tiger Stadium, 6-4, Jack Moore. Oh, and talk about the home run bugaboo right off the bat, 1-4. But fortunately for him, that's a 19. So it's just a deep fly to left that Larry Herndon will haul in. And there's one away. Kirk Gibson is a designated hitter in this game today. Kind of interesting lineup there. They're trying to get a lot of the right-handed hitters in the lineup against left-handed Hurst, so that's why you got Terry Harper in right and Larry Herndon in left and Bill Madlock at first. All right, here's Marty Barrett, second baseman. He's hitting .311, no homers, 11 driven in. He is .293 real world. It's a 4-7, and that is a ground ball shortstop X. Trammell, 1E21, so of course we know he's going to get to it, and we're just worried about the E21. And if we look at the error section on shortstop, E21, the only errors are 6, 15, and 17. So if he can avoid those, he makes the play. Barely. It's a 7, so he almost booted it. But Trammell will make the play, and there's 2 away. 2 up, 2 down. Good start for Morris. And here's Wade Boggs. Wade Boggs hitting .354 on the replay. 12 homers, 30 driven in. He at .363 real world. 2-6, and that's a single for Wade Boggs. He's doing Wade Boggs things. Raising that average again. Of course, he's no threat to run, so he will hold. Hello, World's Worth. Hello, Dr. D. Jim Rice hitting 273, 4 homers, 24 driven in. He hit 277 real world. First Havoc roll, nothing happening. Whoa, that white die didn't go through. Something got kicked out there, so let's redo that. Make it official here. 4-6 is a strikeout. That's pretty official right there for Jack Morris. Yeah, that'll take care of the Red Sox. So maybe expecting a low-scoring game. You never know. The real world game was 2-1, so obviously there was some pitching going on. However, Bruce Hurst has been struggling on the replay. In real world, he did decent. He was 15-13 with a 4.41 ERA, but on the replay, he's 2-8 with a 5.94 ERA, 86 innings pitched and 98 hits allowed. Also 43 walks, 82 strikeouts, but he's given up 19 home runs. So he's given up, the home run bug has been getting him as well. So we'll see if he can avoid that. Lou Whitaker is going to be the leadoff batter. Whitaker hitting 283 on the replay, 13 homers, 44 driven in. He hit 265 in the actual season. 6-7. That's a 1-4 double. That's a 15, so just a fly ball to Greenwell and right. One away. I know Boston can't wait for Benzinger to get on the roster so they can put him at first and put Evans back in right field where he belongs. He's definitely out of touch there at 4E20. He's being wasted. His defense is being wasted as a 4E25 first baseman. All right, here's Bill Madlock. Speaking of first base, he's at first base today. Hitting 243, 2 homers, 2 driven in. Hits 279 real world. That's a 3-5, and that's a fly to center, so Ellis Burks will haul that in. 2 up, 2 down for the designated hitter, Kirk Gibson. Gibson hitting a robust 363 on the replay, 11 homers, 35 driven in. He only hit 277 real world. 4-8, lefty. It's a strikeout for Hurst, and a 1-2-3 inning for Bruce Hurst. We go to the second no score from Tiger Stadium here on this Sunday, June 14th, 1987. Of course, once we get to the June 15th date on Monday, it'll be all new opponents. New series will begin, and get maybe some fresher looks at some different matchups. Here's Don Baylor hitting 240 on the replay, 6 homers, 30 driven in. He at 245 real world. 6-7, and that is a 1-7 single. That's a 4 base hit for Don Baylor. Devil Die came up as a low number that he needed. Of course, he is no threat to run whatsoever, so he will not be held. Speaking of running, Morris and the catcher Heath combined for 0. Morris is a +2, but Heath's a -2 for 0. Hurst is a -3, Gedman's a -1, and Hurst is a -2. So nobody's going to have a real super advantage as far as trying to run. You wouldn't think. Here's Dwight Evans hitting 358 on the replay, 13 homers, 44 driven in. He at 305 real world. Tigers looking for that double play. 4-8. I get a strikeout from Morris, so I guess they'll take that as well. That's his second strikeout, as Evans is retired. For right fielder Mike Greenwell. Greenwell hitting 302 on the replay, 10 homers, 23 driven in. He at 328 real world. Greenwell 1-4. That is a fly ball to right field, and that's going to be taken in by Terry Harper. 2 down. Baylor still at first base. Shortstop Spike Owen, number 8 hitter. Spike Owen. Owen on the replay is hitting 197, a homer, 7 driven in. He at 259 real world. Nothing on the Havoc. That is a 4-6. Switch hitter batting left, and that's another strikeout for Jack Morris, his third, and that will end the inning. So the leadoff single by Baylor doesn't amount to anything. We go to the bottom of the second. Still scoreless. Hello, Joel. Good to see you. Good morning to you. Happy Wednesday to you. Alan Trammell will lead off for the Tigers, and he is one of the league's leading hitters at 425 on the replay. 14 homers, 48 driven in. He hit 343 real world. 4-9, and that's a fly to right field, hauled in by Greenwell. 1 down. For Larry Herndon, the left fielder, 79% of his at-bats came against left-handed pitching, so he's definitely, in this part of his career, has turned into a platoon player. So he's in left field. Hitting .314 on the replay, 4 homers, 13 driven in. He hit .324 real world. 5-10. And that is a ballpark blast. He's got normal power, 1-11, but that's a 15. So just a deep fly to left that Rice at the warning track will haul in. 2 away. And that will take us to Mike Heath. Heath doing the catching in this one. On the replay, hitting .266, 3 homers, 16 driven in. He hit .281 real world. 4-9, and that's going to be a fly to right where Greenwell will haul that in. Look at that. All fly balls off of Bruce Hurst. I don't know if he was a fly ball pitcher or not, but other than a strikeout, the other 5 outs have all been fly outs. The infield has not had any plays at all in 2 innings. I don't know if that's if he is a fly ball pitcher or whether the dice roll just come out that way early on, but he could have been a fly ball pitcher. Who knows? It's possible. All right, so Jack Morris will face Rich Gedman, the number 9 hitter, the catcher. Rich Gedman. Gedman on the replay, not doing so well. 165, no homers, 11 driven in, but he only hit .205 real world. So not that far off, I guess. 6-5. That's a home run on a 1, but that's a 4, so just a deep fly to right that Harper puts away. 1 down for Ellis Burks, back to the top of the order. It's a 1-12 for Burks, and that's a foul out to Mike Heath. 2 up, 2 down. So both pitchers seem to be sharp early on. Here's Marty Barrett. 6-9, and that's a strikeout for Morris, strikeout number 4, and that ends the inning. So nothing doing for the Sox. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, still no score. Due up for the Tigers, bottom of the order, Lemon, Harper, and Brookins. Chet Lemon is the Joe Carter of the Tigers in this replay, as he is really struggling. He's hitting .209, 3 homers, 15 driven in. He hit .277 real world. 2-10 for Lemon as a ground ball to 3rd. Wade Boggs takes care of that without any issues. 1 away for Terry Harper. Harper had 95% of his at-bats came against left-handed pitching. So again, he is the lefty platoon version for Pat Sheridan. When they face a lefty, a lot of times they'll use Terry Harper in his plays. Harper hitting .258, 3 homers, 12 driven in. Hit .203 real world, so he's really been killing it compared to his real world numbers. 2-9. He's going to line this one, though, right to Wade Boggs. 2 down, and number 9 hitter Tom Brookins, 3rd baseman, hitting .256 on the replay, 4 homers, 19 driven in. He had .241 in the actual season. That's a 1-7. He's going to strike out. That's the 2nd strikeout for Hurst. So, wow, 3 innings here at Tiger Stadium, and the pitchers are ruling the day so far. Go the 4th, no score. Hurst and Morris in a pitching duel for the first 3 innings. Start the 4th. It'll be Boggs, Rice, and Baylor. Heart of the order. Boggs singled his first time up. Yes, I got to drink this coffee before it starts to get cold. Boggs. 4-10. Fly ball center field X. That's Chet Lemon, 2E4. So he might be struggling offensively, but he's obviously a very good defensive center fielder. So he's a 2. We're in the 2 column here for his range. Oh, a 2 and a 2. That's not good at all. That's a single, and that's a 4. His error rating is a 4. So we go to center field. 4 and a 4 is a 1 base error to go along with it. Got a bad break there on these rolls. A 2 causes a single, and then the error there. So it's a single plus an error on Chet Lemon. Single plus the error, so Boggs will take second base on the E8. Single plus the E8. Boggs at second, nobody out. Morris not too happy about that. Here's Jim Rice. 2-7 for Rice, and that's a single to center field. Chet Lemon does have a -1 arm. Boggs would be a 1 to, he's 12, but he's a 1 to 13 for not being held. But with nobody out, I just don't think you want to take that chance. So they'll hold Boggs at third. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Rice not going to be held. Here's Don Baylor. Infield playing for the double play. They'll give up the run to get the 2 out. Try to limit the damage. 5-2 for Morris is a fly ball left field B, and that'll be a sacrifice fly. So Baylor flies it out to Herndon, and coming in to score is going to be Wade Boggs. Sacrifice fly gives the Red Sox a 1-0 lead. Rice at first with 1 out for Dwight Evans. Six, 7, and that's a single 1-7. That's a 12, so he will line it to short. Trammell will snag it, 2 down. So Morris hoping to get out of this with just the 1-run damage. Mike Greenwell in a clutch, well, not in a clutch situation because the runner's only on first. So it's a regular at bat, 6-3, and that's a ballpark single check. Only a 1-2, so 6-3 will be a liner to second base to end the inning, but the Red Sox get on the board. Curious to see if the Strat computer calls that run earned or unearned, because I could see it going either way. Let's see what they've done with Morris. They have made it an unearned run. They're saying it's an unearned run that without the, because you can't assume with Rice's hit that he would have gotten to third base. So they are calling it an unearned run for those that care about such things. But it counts nonetheless. It's 1-0 Red Sox. We go to the bottom of the 4th. And due up is the top of the order, Lou Whitaker. Get their second swings at Bruce Hurst. Whitaker flies out to right field his first time up. We get a 3-3, and for Whitaker, it's a ground ball to short. Spike Owen all over it. 1 away. That brings up the Mad Dog and Bill Madlock. 3-6 for Madlock, and he gets hit by the pitch. He gets plunked. HBP right there. He gets hit by the pitch by Bruce Hurst. Don't think there was any intent behind that. Madlock is at first. He will not be held. And here's Kirk Gibson. Gibby struck out his first chance. 6-9. He's going to draw a base on balls this time around. So all of a sudden now, Hurst is having some control issues. A hit by pitch and now a walk. So with 1 out, Alan Trammell steps up, league's leading hitter, ready to do some damage. Red Sox looking to turn that double play. 1-3. That's a ballpark single check. It's only a 1, so that will be a liner to short. Out number 2. And a clutch situation coming up here for Larry Herndon. Herndon flew to left his first chance. In the clutch, Larry Herndon loses a hit, 111, and that's it. 111 is the only clutch hit that he loses. Get a 1-9 instead, which is a ground ball to short. Spike Owen will take care of it. And Bruce Hurst pitches around the issues. So we go to the 5th inning, still 1-0 favor of the Red Sox. Hurst has a fatigue of 7, Morris a fatigue of 8, so they can go quite a few innings if they're effective. Spike Owen will lead it off for the Red Sox. Owen struck out his first chance. 3-3 for Owen, and that's a solid triple. You don't see that very often, but a solid triple on his own card for Spike Owen. He had 7 triples on the season. So there you go, a leadoff triple for Spike Owen. And on the replay, that's his 3rd triple of the season. He had 7 real world. So the infield is going to come in right away for the Tigers. They really don't want to give up another run if they can avoid it. Rich Gedman, the batter. Infield is in early. 4-10, lefty-lefty. That's a fly ball center field X. That, again, is Lemon. He didn't get a kind roll last time. Let's see if he does this time. He needs a high D20 to keep Owen from tagging up. Gets a 16. That might do it. In fact, it should do it. 2 and a 16 should be an F3, I would think. 2 and a 16 is an F3. Boy, a 15 or lower, he would have had at least a sacrifice fly, but the F3 on the 16 keeps the runners where they are. That's an 8. He's an E4. There is no 8 there, so fortunately for Jack Morris and the Tigers, the D20 came up with a big number, which means the ball was not hit deep enough, and runner had to hold. Here's Ellis Burks. Infield still in. 4-3. That's a fly ball left field X. Maybe not so good this time because Hernan's only a 3. But if you get a good D20 roll, anything can happen. They don't get it. 3 and a 3 is not going to help at all. That's going to drop for a base hit. 3 and a 3 is actually going to be a double. So a double for Ellis Burks. That's a 9, and he is an E4. There is no 9 there, but it will be a double. And that'll give the Red Sox a 2-0 lead. That time the D20 was not cooperative. RBI double for Ellis Burks. 2-0 Red Sox. Here's Marty Barrett. 3-8 for Barrett, and that's a single 2 stars as an anti-clutch here, but there are not 2 outs, so the clutch does not come into play. It's an RBI single from Marty Barrett with the 2 stars. Red Sox lead it 3-0. So all of a sudden, they're starting to get to Jack Morris. They only scored 1 run in the real game, but boy, they've got 3 on the board already. Barrett actually has a chance to get a lead. Needs a 4 to get the lead. Doesn't do it, so he'll hold. For Wade Boggs, who's 2 for 2. Tigers in desperate need of a double play. 1-6, they won't get it. 1-2 the triple, 3-20. That's a 1. How do you like that? Wade Boggs found the 1, so that's going to make that on the 2 on the 1-6. That makes that a triple for Wade Boggs, 2nd triple of the inning. For Wade Boggs, it's going to be 4-0 Red Sox, and now the Tiger bullpen starts to loosen. For Wade Boggs, that's his 3rd triple of the replay. He had 6 real world. Infield still in for Jim Rice. Tiger bullpen. Looks like they have Mark Thurman, the lefty, loosening in the bullpen. Rice, the batter, infield in. But it's already 4-0 Red Sox. That's a 6-4. In-home run chance, 1-4. That's a 10, but it'll still be a sacrifice fly on the B. So sacrifice fly from Jim Rice makes it 5-0. 5-0 Red Sox. 4-score, Abraham Lincoln 4-score inning so far. 2 outs, and here is Don Baylor. 4-4. Ground ball third base X. We're looking at Brookins 3E21. 3 and a 17 is good. E21, and that is a 13 for third baseman. So an E21 is a 6-11, 16, 15, and 18, no 13. So Brookins will make the play to end the inning finally, but a 4-score Abraham Lincoln inning has given the Red Sox a 5-0 lead. And that's they're going to cap him right there. He just doesn't have it today. Had it early, but he just seemed to lose it all of a sudden. So Jack Morris is going to go 5 innings, give up 8 hits. 5 runs, 4 of them earned. I don't think he walked anybody. That was one positive. Maybe his control was too good, and he struck out 4. And Mark Thurmond will be the new pitcher coming in the 6th inning. And Thurmond, make him a -2. So Thurmond will be your new pitcher when we start the top of the 6th. Right now, Bruce Hurst enjoying a 5-0 lead. Will face Heath, Lemon, and Harper. Heath, Lemon, and Harper. That's a 1-9 for Heath, and that's a double, and there goes the no-hitter. Top first batter of the 5th inning breaks up the no-hitter right there with a solid double. So Mike Heath, leadoff double. And that'll bring up Chet Lemon. .610, and that is a is a catcher 10. That's Gedman, a 3. 3-18 is probably some sort of a pop out or a ground out. Let's take a look here. 3-18 for the catcher. 3-18 is a G3, so the runner will advance. That's an 8. He's an E15. E15, there's no 8 there. It's 11, 15, 3, and 18. So it's a G3 ground out. Play is made by Gedman, but his only play is to first. Going to third is Heath. So Heath will advance to third base. 1 out. With a 5-0 lead, they will play the infield back, and here's Terry Harper. 2, chance for a balk or pass ball, and Gedman does have a 12 pass ball rate. And that's exactly where we're going with that. 1 to 12, he's going to pass ball a run in. He does not. 16, he blocks it. So here's Harper. 2-10 for Harper. That's a pop out to short. So even with the infield back there, we're giving him a run, but he pops it up to short. 2 down, and now it's up to Tom Brookins in the clutch. And in the clutch for Brookins, he loses a hit on 2-3 and 2-8. 2-3 and 2-8. Got to avoid those numbers. 4-7, ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Spike Owen. He's a 3-E-17 to try to make the play. 10, should be okay, you would think. 3 and a 10 is a G2. That's an 11, and he is an E17. E17, there's no 11 there, so Spike Owen makes the play, and despite the leadoff double, the Tigers cannot cash in. So we go to the top of the 6th, 5-0, and the new pitcher for the Tigers, Mark Thurmond. He'll be facing the lefty. He'll be facing Evans, and then the lefty Greenwell and the switch hitter Owen. So we'll bring in Mark Thurmond and get his numbers on the replay. Some people might think it's a quick hook for Jack Morris, but he just didn't have it. So I think it is prudent to go to the bullpen. Mark Thurmond, real world, 0-1, 4.23 ERA and 5 saves. In the replays, 2-2 with a 9.19 ERA and 5 saves. How he got 5 saves, we'll never know. 31 innings pitched and 50 hits allowed, 16 walks and 12 strikeouts. So he's definitely had his issues. But we'll see if he can turn things around here against Dewey Evans and Mike Greenwell and Spike Owen. Evans is 0 for 2. 3-2, and that's a foul out to Heath. 1 away. Here's Mike Greenwell. Lefty-lefty matchup. 1-8 for Greenwell. Lines it right to Madlock at first base. 2 up and 2 down. And that'll 4-8, switch hitter batting right-handed. 4-8 is going to be a single for Spike Owen. He's 2 for 3, a triple and now a single. Owen could get a lead, but they're not going to test it with that -2 hold. So here's Gedman, another lefty-lefty matchup. 1-4, and that's a ballpark single check. It's only a 2, so that will keep the original pop up to first, and that will end the inning. So Thurman pitches a scoreless 6th, but the Tigers are waiting on their offense to show up, which it has not to this point. Go to the top of the order, third time through the order. Maybe it's the charm for the Tigers. We'll see. Lou Whitaker will lead it off. Like most of the Tigers, has not had success. Heath got the only base hit so far. 2-8, and that's a 1-7 single. Double Die cooperates with a 6, so Lou Whitaker, a leadoff single. Whitaker could get the lead, but you're down 5-0, plus the -3 from Hurst. It just doesn't make any sense to try that, so they'll stand pat. And here is Bill Madlock. That's a 4-9, and that's a fly ball to right. Hauled in by Greenwell. 1 down for Kirk Gibson. So Gibson and Trammell, this is the part of the order where they're going to need to make hay if they're going to get back in this game. 6-11, ground ball first base X. That's Evans, but he's a 4.25, so Gibson might be able to sneak something past him. 4 and a 9, that very well could get through for a hit. They were holding Whitaker on, so actually he is a 5.25 because he's responsible for holding the runner. So a 5 and a 9. 5 and a 9 is a G3 pound, but the pound, if you're holding the runner on, that turns into a single 2 stars. So that will get through for a single. That's a 12. He's an E25 at first base. There's a 12 there as well. So it's a single 2 stars plus an error. Seems rather severe, but that's what it is. So scoring all the way from first is Whitaker. Single plus an error on Evans puts Gibson at second base. And the Tigers are finally on the board, trailing it now 5-1. Here is Alan Trammell. 6-5 for Trammell is a solid straight-out double. That makes it a 6-2 ball game. And that'll make both runs earned now. So the part of the order the Tigers needed has now come through. It's now 5-2. As they try to claw their way back in. Here's Larry Herndon, still only 1 out. 5-10, ballpark blast. It's a 1-11. That is an 11. It is gone. If we were robbing home runs, there might be a chance to rob the home run, but not here. We're not doing robbing home runs. Look at it again. 5-10 is a ballpark blast. 1-11, and that is the 11. A 2-run home run from Larry Herndon, and just like that, it's a 5-4 ball game. And Jack Morris is saying, where were these runs when I was pitching? Herndon, his 5th home run of the replay. RBIs 14 and 15. He had 9 homers real world. It is now 5-4, and now Bruce Hurst is starting to struggle. Here's Heath, 4-7. Ground ball shortstop X. We're back to Spike Owen, 3E17. 3-12, he'll get to that. E17 and a 14. E17, there is a 15, 16, and 17, but no 14. So Spike Owen will make the play for out number 2. And that'll send up Chet Lemon with 2 outs, and the base is clear. 4-8, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. Strikeout number 3 for Hurst. But a 4-score Abraham Lincoln inning by the Tigers has got them right back in the game. It's 5-4 as we go to the top of the 7th inning. Mark Thurman, his 2nd inning of work. And he'll be facing the top of the order, Burks, Barrett, and Boggs. Brooks doubled and scored his last time up. 4-8, and that's going to be a solid single. He is 2 for 4. And let's see, can he get the lead? He could try. Thurman is a -2 overall in the hole, so if he got the lead, it'd be a 1-15. That's still pretty good odds. So he's going to try to get the lead, 5 or a 6. He does not get the lead, he will hold. Here's Marty Barrett. 3-5 for Barrett against the lefty is a solid single to center field. They will hold Burks. He was being held, makes him a 16. Center field -1's a 15. Boy, 1-15. 1-15. They may go ahead and send him 1-15. But if they throw through, Barrett's going to take second base. So you're in a little bit of a dilemma there, whether you throw through or not, because 1-15 is pretty good odds he's going to be safe. If you throw through, you got second and third, nobody out. So they're going to, Lemon will just get it back into second base. So runners on the corners, and the Tiger bullpen again starting to stir. As we have right-handed action, Mike Henneman. Righty is loosening the bullpen. And he may be coming in right after Boggs because there's righties coming up 3 in a row. So this might be Thurman's last batter right here. Wade Boggs. That's a 1. Thurman will check his wild pitch rating because, again, they're not on the cards. So I have to consult the computer. His wild pitch rating, unfortunately, is a 13. So this could be a wild pitch. And it is. That'll score the run and take the double play out of the equation. Really hurtful wild pitch there. That is not what the Tigers needed. It's now 6-4. Thurman to Boggs. 1-7, and that's a 1-16 double. That will score the run, and that's going to be it for Thurman. Sparky doesn't want to see him anymore. Double by Boggs makes it now, and Thurman is tired, but I think Sparky's more tired of seeing him than Thurman is tired of being fatigued. So that's going to be it for him, and they'll bring in Mike Henneman. He's the most rested right-hander to try to get out of a jam. So Mike Henneman it is to face Jim Rice. It's now a 7-4 game, and you just fought your way back to make it 5-4, and you give up 2 runs coming right out of the chute. So Thurman's going to go 1+ innings. He didn't get anybody out here in the second inning of work. He's going to give up 4 hits, 2 runs so far, but Boggs is his responsibility. No walks, no strikeouts. And Henneman will be coming on to face Jim Rice. Henneman is a -5 hole, but I don't know if that matters right now at this point. He'll be facing Jim Rice. We'll bring in Henneman on the computer and get his numbers on the replay versus real world. So Henneman making the trek in from the bullpen. Henneman on the real season was 11-3 with 7 saves and a 2.98 ERA. On the replay, 3-3 with 3 saves and a 3.98 ERA. Going to face Jim Rice to lead things off. That's a 2, chance for a balk or pass ball. We're looking at a balk rating of Henneman, so we got to go to the computer again, get his balk rating, because again the cards don't have it. He is a 0 balk. He's a 14 wild pitch, but he's a 0 balk, so no balk to worry about. 3-5 for Rice. Oh, that's something to worry about, though. 3-5 is a 1-10 homer. That's a 19, so it'll only be a double. That run will be charged to Thurman. We can close the book on him. He's going to give up the 3 runs, all earned. And it is now 8-4. So all the good the Tigers did last inning going by the wayside, courtesy of the bullpen. Second guessers can say we removed Jack Morris too soon, but he certainly wasn't doing anything in his 5th inning. He was struggling, so kind of no-win situation there. Here's Don Baylor. Still nobody out. 4-7. That's a 1-16 single. It's only 1 star, but it's going to put runners at the corners. And now they just can't get anybody out. Doesn't matter who you bring in. Runners are at the corners. Nobody out still for Dwight Evans. They're playing back. That's a 2, so chance for a balk or a pass ball again. But he has no balk rating or 0 balk rating. Infield is back. They got to get outs. 2-7 for Evans, and he walks, and that's going to load the bases with nobody out. They're in danger of batting around. And here comes Greenwell. (2-7), and that's going to be danger. 1-19 is a double, 2 stars. 2-run double from Greenwell, and looks like Henneman's not the answer either. As the Tigers are just imploding here in the top of the 7th. It is now 10-4 good buddy game. Get your CBs out. Here's Spike Owen. Infield is, at this point, does it really matter whether you're in or out? They'll play in just for the kicks and giggles. 2-9. Doesn't matter. He pops it up to first. That's 1 away. But they will bat around. That's official. Short of a low max, they will bat around. Hello, Astros. Good to see you. Unless Gedman lines into a low max, there will be a bat around here. Infield again is still in, but it may not matter at this point, as they say. 1-2, and we're right on cue. We get a low max, a second base. How about that? So he lines it to Whitaker, and Whitaker steps on the bag to get Greenwell. 4 unassisted double plays. So the only way they don't bat around is on a low max. And what do we roll? A 1-2 for a low max. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-run inning for the Red Sox. And it took a low max to make it not worse. And we go to the, and that'll be it for Henneman. He's done. He's going to go 1 inning. They'll bring Eric King to kind of mop up this charade of a game now. The 7th inning stretch coming on. But Eric, they don't want to use Willie Hernandez. The only 2 left are Willie Hernandez and Eric King. He's got some good relief ratings. 3 innings, so King will pitch the rest of the game. Or if it gets real bad, they might bring in a position player to pitch. But right now, King is going to be the guy to do so. So Thurman, 1 inning pitched for Henneman. 1 inning pitched. He gave up 2 runs. Gave up 3 hits and a walk. No strikeouts. So 7th inning stretch we go. The competitiveness of this game has just gone away. And Bruce Hurst gets to relax now with a huge 10-4 good buddy lead. And here is Terry Harper. This is a fatigue inning for Hurst, so we'll keep an eye on that. 2-9, and that's a line out right to Boggs. So Tigers not able to take advantage of being able to pull into a tie with the Yankees after they lost to the Brewers, but just not able to do so. Here's Brookins, 5-3. Fly ball right field X. We're looking at Greenwell, 4E10. 4-3. That'll drop in for a base hit. In fact, a 4 and a 3. It's going to be a double. That's a 16, so we could add insult to injury. Greenwell's an E10. And a 16 right there for a 1-base error. So it'll be a double plus an error. And that'll move Brookins to third base. Double plus the E9. So Brookins is at third with 1 out for Lou Whitaker. Infield, of course, for the Red Sox is back. 1-5, lefty. Ground ball first base B, but with the infield being back, I'm pretty sure that means that the run scores. If they were in, the run would be out at the plate, but you're up 10-4. You're not going to do that. So ground ball B, we'll look at our official runner advance chart. Runner at third with the infield back. Runner at third. Ground ball B is a 5. If hit to second or short, batter out, runner advances. Otherwise, batter out, runner holds. Okay, so the runner's going to have to hold because of the fact that it went to first base. It had to be up the middle for the runner to score, according to that chart. So I stand corrected. It's 3 unassisted, and the runner has to hold, according to the chart. That's what I'm going by. So now it's going to take a hit from Bill Madlock or some kind of an error to score a run. Still a clutch situation by Rule. And in the clutch, Madlock gains a hit on 1-9 and on 2-12 and on 2-2. 1-6, and he gets 1-3 single. That's a 1. Double die came through, so they don't squander at least that one run. So an RBI single from Bill Madlock cuts the lead to 10-5. 2 down now for Kirk Gibson. This is probably going to be Hurst's last inning. That's a 6-12, and that's a ground ball right back to Hurst to end the inning. But it is now a 10-5 ball game in favor of the Red Sox. And I think they will cap Hurst. Well, you know what? They're going to let Hurst keep going, I think. Get a 10-5 lead. Why not? So we go to the 8th inning, and Eric King is your new pitcher, and he'll be facing the top of the order in Ellis Burks after the last inning ended with Gedman hitting into that Lomax. So Eric King is going to come on. We'll bring King on in the computer and get his numbers. 10-5 Red Sox. Tomorrow's game will be in Kansas City. It'll be the California Angels and the Kansas City Royals from Royal Stadium tomorrow. All right, Ellis Burks facing Eric King. King on the real season, 6-9 with 9 saves and a 4.89 ERA. On the replay, 2-2, 3 saves, 2.68 ERA. King to Burks, 3-3 for Burks, and that's a ballpark single. It's only a 1, though, so it's going to be a liner to short. And that'll be out number 1. Marty Barrett stepping up. Barrett is 2 for 4. 1-5, and he's 2 for 5 now as that fly to center takes care of that. And finally, the Tigers found somebody that can get outs. 2 down for Wade Boggs, and Boggs, don't look now, but he's a home run away from the cycle. 2 singles, a triple, and a double. I just noticed that. So Boggs needs a home run for the cycle. And he's got a couple of ballpark home run chances on his card with the ballpark blast. And Eric King against lefties, does he have a home run? He's got a possible home run chance there. Not very good. It's going to probably have to come from a ballpark blast, most likely. But we'll see. 6-6. Nope, he's going to strike out. That talk about going anticlimactic right there. So no soup for you there, Wade Boggs. Eat your chicken. And he strikes out. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Hurst will come out and start and see how he does. Trammell will be the leadoff man. It'll be Trammell, Herndon, and Heath due up here in the bottom of the 8th. 6-8, and that's going to be a leadoff walk. Leadoff walk. And that'll send us to Larry Herndon. Bullpen for the Red Sox is stirring. 4-3, and that's a ground ball first base X. Again, that's Dwight Evans. 4E25. They were holding Trammell on, so he's actually a 5E25. 5 and a 5, and that's going to be a base hit, obviously. No question about that on the 5 and the 5. 5 and a 5 is a single 2 stars. That is a 12, and he's an E25, and there's a 12 right there. So Dwight Evans makes another error. So a single by Herndon, 2-star single, puts Trammell to third, and Trammell scores on the error by Dwight Evans. Second error of the game on Evans. Get this in the computer real quick. Now Bruce Hurst is officially tired. now a 10-6 game. Mike Heath is your batter. They're going to give Hurst one more batter to go before they go to the bullpen. 2-8 against the lefty is a single to left field. They'll hold the runner at third. That's going to be it for Hurst. He's done. Trying to give him every opportunity, but I think he just ran out of gas. So we go to the bullpen for the Red Sox. Bruce Hurst will be done. Tigers are not done yet. It's just 10-6, and they got two guys on base with nobody out. So we'll go to the Red Sox bullpen. Hey, Logger, yeah, just go to Strat-O-Matic.com to get the computer game, the new computer game that's out now. It might take a while because of the back orders, because people pre-order and everything. Or you can get the cards from Strat-O-Matic. The 87 set is not on sale at Strat-O-Matic. I believe they're out of stock on that, but they have plenty of other seasons should you want to delve in, including the 25 season. So let's look at the bullpen for the Red Sox and see who they might want to go to. They are going to go to Steve Crawford out of the bullpen. Right-hander Steve Crawford will get the call. So what did I do with their bullpen? I just put them over here. Steve Crawford. So Hurst is going to go 7+. He didn't get anybody out in the 8th inning. We'll get the rest of his numbers after the inning is over via the Strat computer, because he's still responsible for these two guys. Crawford has a -4 arm, so -5. Crawford on the real season, 5-4, no saves, and a 5.33 ERA. He's done much better in the replays, 3-3 with 2 saves and a 3.78 ERA. Chet Lemon is your scheduled hitter, but I don't believe he's going to come up to bat. Sparky's going to need offense, so they're going to Pat Sheridan off the bench to pinch hit for Chet Lemon. So Pat Sheridan will come on and hit. And these lefties on the bench for the Tigers are now up front and ready to pinch hit. So Pat Sheridan, and he could play center field if need be. He would just slide right into the center field spot for Chet Lemon. So Lemon's day is done. Lemon was 0 for 3, so it's probably a good thing to get rid of him for now. And we go to Pat Sheridan to see what he can do. They still have Darrell Evans and Matt Noakes and Johnny Grubb, three lefties still on the bench to hit. Possibly. Also, utility infielder Jim Whalewander if they have to make a defensive switch. All right, here's Sheridan. First and third, nobody out. Infield is back for the double play. They need outs. Crawford to Sheridan. 4-4. Fly ball center field X. That is Burks. He's a 2E5. 2E5. And before I forgot to give Sheridan's numbers. On the replay, 249 average, 317, 3 homers, 17 driven in. He at 259 real world. So now we're looking at the 2E5 for Ellis Burks on his center field chart. That's a 16. 2 and a 16 is an F3, which means runners have to hold. But that's an 18. Boy, that could be trouble. Even on just an E5, you get an 18, that's usually an error. E5 and 18 is a 3-base error. 3-base error on Ellis Burks. 2 runs are going to score. It's now 10-8. Unbelievable. A 3-base error. I thought that the Red Sox had a lead. Even they couldn't give up, but I have been proven wrong, obviously. A 3-base error on Ellis Burks because of the 18 roll. And it's now 10-8. So now he closed the book on, well, he can't close the book on Hurst because we don't know if those runs are earned or not. Have to see what the rest of the outing brings. They will pinch hit for Terry Harper. He's only in there against the right-handed the left-handed pitchers. So he will leave, and they will go with Matt Noakes. Matt Noakes is going to come on to pinch hit. And the Tigers will figure out all the defense in the top of the ninth. Right now they're worried about offense. So Noakes it is, and he is the tying run coming to the plate for the Tigers. Wild ball game. It was only 2-1 real world, but this game has gotten way beyond that. Also had 5 errors of the game, 4 on Boston, 2 of them on Dwight Evans. So Matt Noakes on the replay is hitting .295, 16 homers, 51 driven in. He hit .289 real world with 32 home runs. Runner at third, nobody out. Infield for the Red Sox is in. They don't give up a cheap run if they can avoid it. 6-7 lefty. Doesn't matter. 1 to 16 is a double. An RBI double for Matt Noakes. That'll score the runs. Now all these runs are going to be earned anyway, I do believe. Pinch hit double for Matt Noakes. It's a 10-9 ball game. Still nobody out. Brookins, your batter. They're not going to pinch hit for Brookins, though. Crawford, 5-8, and that's a strikeout, a much-needed strikeout. Much needed strikeout. And we're back to the top of the order for Lou Whitaker. Tying run is at second base with 1 out in Matt Noakes. One 5 for Whitaker. That's a ground ball second base A, so that'll get the runner to third with 2 outs. And we go to the Mad Dog, Bill Madlock. Clutch situation for Madlock. In the clutch, he gains a couple hits. 1-9 and 1-11. He gains hits in the clutch. 6-9 for Crawford against the righty. That's a ballpark blast. And he's got normal power. It's 1 to an 11, but that's a 15. So Bill Madlock just got under it. It would have been a 2-run homer to give the Tigers the lead. But as it is, they get another 4-score inning. And we go to the 9th inning with the score, Boston 10 and Detroit 9. And now we need to do some maneuvering defensively to see who's going to do what for the Tigers. We got to make some defensive changes. Obviously, Sheridan is now going to be in center field for the Tigers. And they need a right fielder. Noakes pinch hit. He can play right field, but he's awful. But I don't know if they have anybody else to play right field that's any good. So they may just have to suffer with that. Johnny Grubb's the other outfielder. He's awful too. So I think we're going to have to put Noakes in right field and just live with it. Yep, that's what we're going to have to do. Noakes is going to take over in right field in the 9th. Sheridan center field in the 9th. So Noakes in right field, keep an eye on that. In right field, don't know how well it shows it. He is a 4+2 E16 in right field, but that's the price you pay when you go for offense. So you kind of have to do that. So Noakes stays in the game, play right field. All right, we go to the box score and get the final numbers on Bruce Hurst, who thought he had an easy win when the score was 10-4. But 5 unanswered runs by the Tigers have closed the gap. Hurst 7+ innings, 9 hits, 8 runs, 6 earned, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. He still qualifies for the win if the Red Sox don't lose the lead, but boy, not a very positive outing on his behalf. So top of the 9th we go. Eric King, who pitched a 1-2-3 8th inning. He's back out to face Rice, Baylor, and Evans. for the Red Sox. Hello, Bob. Glad you stuck around as well. Never know with these dice what's going to happen. Of course, the Red Sox in '87 were so bad. I think no lead is safe with them. So here's Rice. 4-5. Fly ball to right field. And that's all them. I tell you, to bring a new person to play the outfield, and the ball hits right to him, Matt Noakes. Fortunately, it was not an X chance. It was just a regular routine fly ball. One away, and here's Don Baylor. 2-9 for Baylor, and he grounds it to Trammell at short. 2 down. And here's Dwight Evans. 1-3 for Evans. A 1-8's a single. That's a 9. So now the rolls are starting to go the way of the Tigers, as that's going to be a line out to short. So 1-2-3 inning there. Eric King, 6 up, 6 down in relief. We go to the 9th. It'll be Calvin Schiraldi time for the Red Sox. They will bring him on to try to close the deal, if possible. He is their closer. So Calvin Schiraldi will be in. He's got to face Gibson, Trammell, and Herndon, though. Heart of the order. So not going to be an easy save by any means. So we go to the bullpen. Or Mr. Schiraldi, get his numbers. Where are you at? There you are. Calvin Schiraldi. So on the real season, Schiraldi was 8-5 with 6 saves and a 4.41 ERA. On the replay, he's 3-4 with 6 saves and a 4.71 ERA. So not too far off from real world. Kirk Gibson will lead it off in the bottom of the 9th. Crawford's going to go 1 inning and give up a hit and an unearned run. And that's it. Gets a strikeout. All right, so Schiraldi is on. He is a +4, which makes this a +3. That could come into play. Possibly. Kirk Gibson's going to lead it off, though. See what happens. 1-4 for Gibby. He grounds it to Boggs at third base. 1 away and a big first out to get for Schiraldi. That brings up Alan Trammell, the league's leading hitter. If you're the Tigers, this is who you want. 2-6, and he gets the single. And he might be looking to run because he can get in the scoring position with 1 out. That would be huge. He needs a 5 to get the lead. He needs a 5. Whoa. Thing slipped right out of my hand. Where'd that go? Went way under the table. I hate when that happens. I hate when that happens. Trying for the lead. Needs a 5. Doesn't get it, but that's a 2. Chance of a balk on Schiraldi. So let's check Schiraldi's balk rating. His balk rating is a 10. Oh, so he might even balk him over to second base. And he did. So Trammell, the pressure there, pressured Schiraldi into a balk. You like that? Schiraldi balks him over. So he's at second base with 1 out for Larry Herndon. I know he only faces lefties or righties 21% of the time, but do you really want to pull out a .324 hitter for Johnny Grubb, who doesn't hit all that well? So they're going to stick with Herndon. He's had a home run and a single. Those were against lefties. I understand that, but still got to leave him in there. Schiraldi facing Herndon. 5-8, and that's a strikeout for Schiraldi. And that's 2 away, so it's all down to Mike Heath. Last chance for the Tigers. Heath, a pretty good hitter. He's 2 for 4. He hit .281 on the season. He is 2 for 4 in this game. .273 on the replay. It is a clutch situation with the runner at second. So in the clutch, Mike Heath against righties loses a hit on 2-8. And he also loses a hit on 3-10 and 3-5. So he loses 3 hits. He's got to be careful with that. He will lose 3 hits in the clutch. Trammell with good speed will most likely score on any single. 5-10 for Schiraldi is a catcher X. So that's Gedman, 3E15 for Gedman. 3E15. 3 and a 5 for Gedman. This could be trouble. 3 and a 5 is a P/P, so possible pass ball might be coming up. That is a 13, and he is an E15. E15, there is no 13, but it is a P/P. P/P. And some reason on this little chart here that ID sent me, it doesn't have the P/P on it. I wonder if it's on a different page or something. Don't see the P/P, so I'm going to go to my old charts for those, I guess. We'll take a break in the action real quick while I pull out the old charts, the old standbys, and look at the P/P. P/P, where are you? There you are, over here. So we're looking at the wild pitch rating of the pitcher to determine if a pass ball has occurred. So Schiraldi's wild pitch rating is a 12. So 1 to 12, then a pass ball will occur. It does. It's a pass ball. So we have a balk and now a pass ball. And that's going to put the runner at third with 2 outs. Mike Heath a chance. All he needs is just a basic single to get the run home and tie the game. Clutch situation. 6-8. Struck him out, and there's your ball game. Schiraldi strikes out Heath to end the game, and the Red Sox hang on and win it by the score of 10-9 over the Tigers, who made a valiant comeback but just came up a tad bit short. And we'll go to the box score to get the totals on this wild one. 10-9 Red Sox over the Tigers. Tigers will drop to 33-26. Red Sox improve to 24-38. The win goes to, unbelievably, to Hurst. Even though he pitched poorly, he goes to 3-8. Schiraldi gets his 7th save with 1 inning of work. Gave up a hit, nothing else, struck out 2. The losing pitcher is Jack Morris. He will drop to 7-5 because the Red Sox never tied the game, or the Tigers never tied the game, so the loss got stuck with him. Final line score, 10 runs, 15 hits, and 4 errors for the Red Sox. 9 runs, 11 hits, and 1 error for the Tigers. Winning pitcher Hurst now 3-8. Losing pitcher Morris now 7-5. Schiraldi is 7th save. And player of the game, if you want to give one, got to go to Wade Boggs. He was 4 for 5. Only thing he missed was a home run. 4 for 5, 3 runs scored, 2 runs driven in. So Wade Boggs is, without a doubt, the player of the game, Mr. Wade Boggs. He's upped his average now to 363 on the replay. And how do you like that? He hit 363 real world. His current average with the 4 for 5 performance now makes him 363 on the replay to match his numbers exactly. So there you go. So let's go do it from here. We'll look ahead to tomorrow. Tomorrow, well, first of all, we'll put this in the books and look at the standings. Tigers missed a golden opportunity. They fall 6.5 games back of Milwaukee and Toronto, and a game and a half back of third-place Yankees. They're still 1 game ahead of what they did real world. They're 33-26. They were 32-27 real world. Coming up, it's Kansas City and California. California is 4 games back of first place Oakland, so they'll be looking to try to sneak a little closer as they head to Kansas City. It'll be Don Sutton, the righty, against Danny Jackson, the lefty. That will be tomorrow. And then on Friday, it's going to be Oakland and Texas. From the great state of Texas, it's Oakland Eric Plunk against Texas's Charlie Huff. And the game to play offline will be, there's 2 games to play offline, Cleveland at Seattle and Minnesota at Chicago. Those 2 will be played offline to finish out the June 14th schedule. So tomorrow, California is at Kansas City, and then Friday, Oakland at Texas. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you enjoyed that wild one here from Detroit. It was 2-1 real world Detroit, but in this game, 10-9, including 4 errors by the Red Sox that almost gave the game away. But they were able to hold on and win it. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And I will go ahead now probably and try to print out some of these Fall Classic cards on this perforated stock, and I'll report and tell you how it turned out. If you need to make a separate setting on your printer or whatever. So anyway, that's going to do it from here. Till next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.